everyone, my name is Gusev, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today in this video tutorial I'm going to show how to paint a portrait alla prima, which means wet during one session. But before I start, I want to tell you about my new project, which I called Gusev Art School. I know that many beginners have troubles and sometimes struggle a lot when mixing skin tones and don't know much about heads construction or tonal values, about the light source and so on. So I decided to help you, and I made this project in order to give you some simple advices, hopefully helpful and useful, which will help you to improve your artworks. So I would like you to upload your paintings, drawings on Instagram and use my hashtag, the one you see on the screen right now. And once in a while, I promise, I will make videos and give critique on your artworks, give you very simple and useful advices. So let me know in the comments down here if you are interested in this. And if so, upload your paintings, drawings on Instagram, put my hashtag Gusev Art School, I will find your works, make a video and give my critique on it. Of course, I would like to see mostly portraits or figures or compositions, but if you have landscapes or seascapes or still lifes or any other genre, any technique, you're very welcome to upload them as well. And of course, it is going to be completely free for you, so don't miss out on this chance. Okay, let's go back to my tutorial. And let's talk about alla prima painting a little bit. Remember that the full lesson is available on my webpage, the link you will find in the description. The original of this portrait is also available. You saw my palette. Again, I'm going to use a very few paints, 7 paints, my favorite colors: titanium white, cadmium lemon, cadmium red, burnt sienna, raw umber and ultramarine. I'm using Van Gogh oil paints, but you can use any other brand you personally like. And I'm going to use a middle-sized bristle brush. The size of my canvas is quite small, only 9 × 12 inches, which is about 24 × 30 centimeters. And you see that I stained my canvas. It's not blank, it's not white. I used light cold turquoise acrylic for that. I painted it and let it dry for about 2 hours, and when it's dry we can start working with oils on top. I'm going to use no medium at all, so it's going to be quite thick. And I think it's really nice to paint without a medium, especially when you're working on a very fast, sketchy, lively portrait. But of course, if you like using mediums, I do not mind, so it's up to you. I'm not thinking about details, I'm not making any underdrawing or underpainting and start from blocking in. I start from the big spots of light and shadow. You see that I have 2 big spots right now, dark spot of the hair and lighter spot of the face. In the beginning I didn't use white at all, so I started from burnt sienna, sketching out, and then slowly I started to add a bit of yellow ochre into the shadows, and then I started to mix lights using titanium white, cadmium lemon, cadmium red, and once in a while adding a tiny bit of ultramarine, because as you remember we have warmer shadows and colder lights, because the light source is cold. It took me about 2.5 hours to complete this painting, but of course it does not mean that you have to spend 2 hours. If you want, you can paint 3, 5 or even 10 hours, so it's up to you again. But I remind you that it's really important to paint fast and sometimes paint short sketches. When we paint fast sketches, we learn how to mix skin tones, how to find the right color, so we don't have a lot of time to finish details and we have to think about big things, like big spots of light and shadow. Remember about the tonal values, remember that the shadows are going to be much darker than the lights. This is the basic rule we always use when we are drawing or painting. So make sure that you make the shadows much darker and we have enough contrast. Otherwise we will get quite a flat image, a little inexpressive, grayish and without volume. Another thing I wanna remind you to make the edges quite soft. So remember that we have some things in the foreground like the tip of the nose, eye sockets, chin, and some parts of the head are further away. So we don't have to make the hair very hard on the edges. Make them very soft, very smooth, because they're far away from us. They are mostly in the backgrounds, and we don't have to make the edges very strong. Remember, we have space, we have air, so all the parts which are further away from us will make softer. Right now I'm working on the chin. The chin is going to be darker than the forehead, darker than the cheekbones, because it's further away from the light source. It's turning away from the light source. So it's getting slightly darker and warmer. So we're going to use less titanium white and more ochre, more burnt sienna. I don't recommend you to use umbers, blacks or browns to mix skin tones, because usually when you use dark colors you risk to get dirty color, and colors of the face are usually very bright, very clear and contain a lot of cold tints. Remember to use different colors for the lights and different colors for the shadows. Try to use colder tints for the lights of the face. I would suggest using cadmium lemon, cadmium red or cadmium purple or any other cold red color you have. You can also add some ultramarine or blue cobalt or ceruleum, or again any other cold blue paint. Right now I'm working on the hair. I'm adding quite a lot of ultramarine for the lights, because the hair also has light and shadow. The lights are going to be cold and lighter, that's why I'm using more ultramarine and even a tiny bit of titanium white for the lights on the hair. And the shadows are going to be warmer, so it makes sense to use more raw umber or burnt umber if you have, and ultramarine. And remember, as I mentioned, to make the edges of the hair very soft, because they're further away from us. As it is a fast painting, I don't want to work on the backgrounds, and I'm gonna leave it as you see, so light turquoise is okay for me. If you want, and if you have time, of course you can paint the background, but I don't see a lot of sense to spend time on it right now. Okay, I'm slowly finishing this painting. Remember that you can download this video tutorial from my webpage, and you will also find my other instructional videos which will help you to learn how to paint portraits. So you can check them out on my webpage. Remember to comment on this video, share with your friends, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my Instagram and Facebook accounts, And don't forget to upload your artworks on Instagram with my hashtag Gusev Art School. Okay, let's take a look at how it turned out. You see I put a nice simple frame on it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this painting. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you soon.